say the Arrow and the Flash. Like, Arrow's pretty dark, Flash is light and fun. Talk a little bit about the tone.
The tone is, I hope that, we were just talking about this over there, that if Metropolis is over here next to Gotham City, right? Over there we're National City, and it's our own sunny universe, and hopefully she'll impact it, Supergirl, with her own brand of lightness and optimism, and we absolutely consider that a character trait of the city, and tonally, visually we're a little lighter, and emotionally hopefully we're a little lighter, and those shows inspire us. Absolutely.
Can you tell about the casting process? I mean, Melissa looks great in the costume and everything like that, and just online response so far has been great. How thorough was the search to find the perfect Supergirl?
It was so exciting for us. David Rappaport and Lindsay at Rappaport Casting are just tremendous. Like, as an example, the first person they brought in for Arrow was Steven. The first person they brought in for Flash was Grant. And the first person is like the hat trick, they brought in. And I don't think it's accidental. People practice a long time to score in hockey too. But he did his, and Lindsay did their research so thoroughly, and in walked Melissa Benoist, who I'd actually worked with on Glee, and she just captivated us all immediately. We saw many more people after that. I would say hundreds, maybe 1,000 people after that, just due diligence, tapes sent in, and she just had our hearts from the beginning, and I hope you guys will feel the same.
We'll talk a little bit about the arc of the season. Are you guys going for a quote-unquote villain of the week, or are you going for more of an overarching arc that is also, you know what I mean?
Yes, please. I mean, that's the answer, actually, is we definitely have, a force every week that has to be matching her huge superhero skills, so we need to, give her an equal but opposite reaction. So we have definitely I won't say necessarily a supervillain of the week, but we definitely have a threat, a force, every episode, and then we have a challenge that she faces that we hopefully are arcing out and serializing that, and it's been really exciting.
Every time we are seeing more and more superheroine on TV, there's any responsibility to portray them so well?
That's a really interesting question. I think that she probably has the same responsibility as any superhero, but because she's got a skirt, maybe there's an additional responsibility to say, yes, of course we're equal, and and then we can put that discussion behind us, because who cares at the end of the day? This is a superhero fighting a super world, and facing super problems, but I guess we just have to address it to move on from it, I think.
Is that part of the choice of making the show lighter, so it's more accessible to younger girls, making it more...
I don't think so. I mean, honestly, I would watch the show if I wasn't writing it, and I think my kids, who are almost 11 and 8, would watch it. I think it really has something for... I mean, I don't want to, break it down to stereotypes, but I think there's action, there's huge stunts, there's huge visual effects, there's at the heart of every episode, it really is the heart. There's this core that we start with, this theme that we explore emotionally. I don't know if every superhero show does that, but we do, and maybe that's what makes it unique for us in terms of being a Supergirl. But really, we just want to explore what thematically, how her emotions resonate, and I hope that you guys will find that too.
Can you tell us about some of the other DC characters like Red Tornado and Non, which is a very interesting
Yes,
addition?
no, we're Reactron and Livewire and Red Tornado. Non is I don't know how much I can talk about it, but we'll definitely be seeing Non. We also have something that's unique for us, in as much as Superman left the planet when he was an infant. Sorry, Kal-El left the planet when he was an infant, became Superman on Earth, but doesn't have the body of memory that Kara Zor-El does. So she has 12 years where she was on her planet, and so we get to learn more about Krypton, which is really exciting. We get to do that through flashbacks and these incredible sets that we're erecting, and it's really fun to see a call sheet, exterior Krypton, interior Krypton. So we flash back there, and we also have the additional flashbacks to Midvale and we'll see people like Dean Cain as Jeremiah Danvers and Helen Slater as Eliza Danvers. And what's amazing, I mean, just to walk on set and see those people acting in our scenes, it's very thrilling for us.
Can you talk about bringing those people on, knowing these are the roles that they played before on TV and film, and not reprising it, but just kind of getting back to that film?
I will look at like Helen talking to Melissa at craft service, and I'm a fangirl, and it's really thrilling to see like Supergirl talking to Supergirl, and just like behind the scenes. It's really, I feel like Helen's such a wonderful person, and it really inspires Melissa and Benoist, and it's just so exciting. We hope in those ways to put little special things inside each episode like that, to have this like historical respect and resonance that we all, why everyone's here is the history of this title.
One of the things about some production executives I've talked to say that they have a budget for the year, and that what they'll do is they'll allocate. That's why some shows have like the flashlight episode to save a little bit of money, so you can do a big episode once in a while. Are you guys already thinking about like November sweeps and the sweeps months about? We're going to amp it up to like make a crazy action episode.
First of all, I was promised there'd be no math questions. But I think Andrew and Greg have done this before, and in as much as I'm enjoying this process so much, we absolutely we don't always know exactly the specifics of where we're going, but we always have a map. And we absolutely have planned out since day one the things that we'd like to accomplish this season on the show. And I hope, and now we're shooting episode 8. I think we're achieving that. I mean, the budget, for example, of the pilot is larger than the budget for episode 2, but I think just putting them next to each other, they're both so huge. And as we say to our very amazing crew, this is Supergirl. It's not like Tiny Girl or like Lame Girl. This is a giant, huge production. We're making a feature film every week, and I've never seen a crew work harder. I've never seen actors or writers or directors. It's just a spectacular production.
Is there a lot of pressure for yourself as a producer, knowing that if this were on CW, people can get an idea because they've had other DC shows, but when it's on CBS, which is normally a procedural network that does well, knowing you're bringing this on to CBS, and I guess, is there a lot more pressure to do well as opposed to being on CW?
I think, I think that without pressure, there's no diamonds. And I really do think that, yes, we put a lot of pressure on ourselves because we just, people come here to wait in line to I'm not very famous, and people want my signature. And so there are people getting up at 2 o'clock in the morning to wait in line. And so we know the passion of our fan base, and we just want to meet that. So really, that's what we're making this show for. Yes, there's a lot of people that have put a lot of, have really supported us, and Warner Brothers and CBS, but really we're making this for the fans because, and also, and this is so important to say, for the people who are not yet fans, because I just think this is a world of, we always talk about in the writer's room what would this show be without her superpowers, and what do we face as sisters and daughters and wives and mothers and husbands and boyfriends, and who when we strip it all away, what is this episode really about? And to get that moment where we, the viewer, relate to her is our every goal.
Can you talk about, in a bigger context of television in general, running a show where the lead character is a female superhero, and the impact you'd like to see that have, why that's important?
I think that it's important and amazing, and she's number one on the call sheet, and she's the one in all the publicity. But at the end of the day, she is the representative of goodness, and she's just trying to set the bar for all of us. And I think it's important that she's female, but it's also important that it doesn't really matter that she's female, because it's sort of a conversation we'd like to get out of the way and just get to her like kicking ass and having fun and having love and exploring who she is. And I think that's the headline is Supergirl, but the real story is, the action, adventure, comedy, visual effects spectacular we're trying to produce every week.
One of the thing in the pilot, we see glimpses and mentions offhand of Superman, and is he gonna kind of be like this thing that comes back or gets mentioned a lot?
We absolutely have to address the fact that there is another super soul living on this planet. I think it is addressed pretty quickly in series and hopefully in a satisfying way. It's really her show, you know, and we don't want to. I mean, I think so much of the purpose of this show is, you know, the reason she hasn't become super for the first 12 years or after she lands on Earth is because she is sort of living the shadow of this man, and so we in pilot kind of get that notion out of the way, and very quickly, I won't say which episode, but very quickly we dispense with the notion of why Superman isn't coming in to save the day.
One of the things I think that's frustrated a lot of people is the lack, and it's a merchandising question, but there's a lack of merchandising for like Black Widow and some of the female-led superheroes in the Marvel Universe. And my sister has kids, girls, and I want to be able to get her things that are, you know, I'm very excited for Supergirl.
Yeah.
So has there been any discussion about the T-shirts, all that stuff that goes with the promotion?
Yeah. Oh my God. We go over to the DC and it's like the ultimate toy store, and we talk about the kind of images that we want to see, and they've come to us with amazing things that just represent, you know, not just girl power, but power in general, and just getting that glyph out there for everyone to appreciate. Yes.
So have you seen girl T-shirts, toys, all that stuff?
They're in the process of getting that. It's a whole machine, but they're definitely in the process of getting them out there. And Colleen Atwood, who designed our Supergirl glyph, it's literally her design based. It's no glyph like no other you've seen in the history of DC for so many years, and it's pretty unique and special. And the thing I love about it is it's transparent in that it goes to her blue backing. So I don't know, women maybe see, or you can see through them more, but it's really cool.
Last question.
I'm sure it'll be like an internal line of ever going to cross over to Arrow and Flash and everything like that. And obviously, this is a different world than Superman. However, now that Flash has introduced the multiverse, is that like a great device in the sense of when it's time and
that's a question sort of larger than me. The answer is we hope to have as much success as those two amazing shows, and you know, the answer is anything's possible in success.
November sweeps.
Thank you guys.